So we are thrilled to be here tonight and to share with you our work and this wonderful program that has been put together. And so with all, I don't know how to say that, without further ado, I'm going to pass the mic on to you so you can invite Captain Barr.
Okay, at this time I'd like to invite Captain Steve Barr, who's going to give us a little illustration called the Black Bag illustration. Do you need two hands or one going to work?
Yeah. Well, good evening. I appreciate the invitation to be here tonight. It's not that often that a jail boss gets to be invited to a place to speak about what's happening in jail. I do want to give you a little information about the Ottawa County Jail and our operations. As some of you may or may not know, the Ottawa County Jail was built in its current location approximately 20 years ago, and for some of you who remember when it was a new jail, that time has passed pretty fast. But county jails are designed to hold prisoners who are pretrial and people who are committed there by the court. Pretrial means that they can't post bond, and therefore they have to stay in the jail until their next court date. The others are sentenced there, so from 1 day to 365 days, they'll have to spend that time at the jail, living day in and day out until the completion of their sentence. As you can imagine, we see a lot of people that come to us in various conditions, I guess, so to speak. And in those conditions, we as staff are challenged to take care of them, to take care of their needs as much as we can possibly. But it's really important that we have a support staff like Families Victorious and its volunteers that come to the facility to help us in managing the issues that we frankly don't have the expertise in. I've been with the Sheriff's Office for 28 years, the last 14 as the jail administrator. The promotion is kind of a facade because I've been the jail administrator for 14 years. The title just changed about a year ago. So the responsibilities have always been there, and the stories just keep building and building and building. And tonight, I'd like to talk to you about some of those stories and share some of those stories. Of course, I'll do that with anonymity, but I tell you, they're very powerful. They're very powerful to witness. Last year, we booked in 8,000 people just at our county jail. 8,000 people. Our daily population, as of today, is 350. The state prison system has currently 45,000 people in the state prison system. Tonight, what I want to talk to you about is what I have in the bag. 70 to 80% of the people that are incarcerated or find themselves in negative contact with the law, have been influenced by the items in this bag. So these items here, I talk about them as items of influence. Some of you may look at this and it really scares the heck out of you. Others may not, but it scares the heck out of me. And I tell you why, because I see the negative impact day in and day out of what this can do to people. So addictive. Prescription pills. You're starting to see more and more advertising on TV about watching your prescriptions and who's taking them. It's getting to be a bigger problem than what they even talk about on TV. Green leafy substance, as we call it, marijuana. Again, you're starting to see more and more legislation that decriminalizes the possession of this, and I'm here to tell you today, I do not support that. This is a very addictive product. You're starting to hear language like this is no different than alcohol. Give me a break. Folks, these are some of the things that really scare the heck out of me. And I pray that as you encounter these things in your life, whether it's family, friends, that you will understand what you're up against. 70 to 80% of the people incarcerated struggle with these influences. The last item I have in the bag is an influence, and it's the most powerful one. I say that I can have the hope working as an employee in the correctional facility because of the answers in here. And the hope that the message in here gives people, it's so powerful. It gives me goosebumps talking about it because I also get to see people who walk out the front door. And many people walk out with the Word of God in their heart. They know there's a new day coming, and that's the hope. That's the hope that we all need, but the people in jail need that hope. It's so important. So important. And so tonight, as we look at the services that the volunteers provide from Families Victorious and others about this message of hope, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. There's one verse in here from Psalms that I rest on. I try to pass that on to others. It's from Psalm 4. It says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. It's very simple, but it's very powerful. As I conclude tonight, I'd like to read a letter. It's interesting because when I first started my career at the sheriff's office, I never thought I'd get letters. Letters of thank you, of all things. This comes from a gentleman by the name of Dave. It says, Dear Sheriff, my name is Dave, and I was just released from the Ottawa County Jail on October 26th. After 85 days of incarceration for drunk driving's third offense, 17 years ago. I ran from that 17 years ago, and after much fear and self-doubt, I turned myself in. I wanted, first of all, to thank you for allowing your jail to have the Bible pod. After getting into the Bible pod, my life began to change. I've had a life of an alcoholic and have had times where I came close to God, but nothing like what happened to me in jail. I spent many hours a day learning and studying His Word. I've now turned my will over to Him and plan on spending the last years of my life helping people like me learn more and more about the Word of God and God Himself. I know that there are not many Bible pods in other jails, and I'm sure that it would not be there if it wasn't for your support. The men who give the time and the chaplains are some of the best men I've ever met. They've taught me so much in such a short time. I would like to list all of them out. I know you know who they are. I've been out for a week now, and I've started to help with many programs I was exposed to while I was in the jail. Families Victorious, Forgotten Man Ministry, 70 times 7, and Building Men for Life have all started to help me move in a much more positive way. I'm 50 years old, and I have a good understanding of what jail is. That the COs and everyone I came into contact with were fair and respectful to me. I know I will never spend any time in jail again, and losing my freedom like that was very hard. But I want you to know that for me it was very much life-changing. And a big reason was the Bible pod. I want to thank you again, and God bless you. These stories are important. And I hope to remember that story for the rest of your life, because These people need your help. I want to thank you for your time tonight. Appreciate it.